I was traveling east on I-40 on July 6th, 2022, and a break at the Love Stops to have my coffee, had the windshield cleaned, the glasses, the mirrors and all, 10:45 or so. So then I take off at about 11:20 from there, from Love's, the truck stop break. Going along with two other truckers, when I got close to Flagstaff exit 195, there's an SUV, white SUV, large SUV, who was at my tail end. And the two trucks hit the brake hard, and so I slowed down, and I was thinking, should I didn't know what was going on there. So apparently, they had spotted the cop. We were doing about 75 mile an hour, and somehow the speed drops down there. The 75 all the way through. If you pass Virginia, Tennessee comes up 75 and 70, and then it's all 75 afterward. And so I'm traveling, and these two truckers, they hit the brake a little harder, and I was thinking, should I overtake them, or should I stay behind? I was at the third spot, and the SUV gave me a blink to go ahead and overtake. I don't know where he got that idea from, but I started to take off. And, I was still doing 75, 76 mile an hour, so I hit the brake, had the accelerator a little bit, and apparently it would go up to 76. The machine is governed for 75, but since it was rolling downhill, so it picked up a little speed, and I was loaded. And so I think when I noticed that my speed went up to 79 or so I backed out. And I noticed that there was a cop there on the side as well. And so as soon as I passed that, about a minute or two later, saw some lights behind me, and the other two truckers, they slowed down, and he followed me, and he said, "Yep, you were speeding." And I said, "Well, I'm rolling along with everyone else." He said, "No, you were doing faster than that." I didn't say anything at that point, you know. So he says, "You didn't notice anything? Were you tired? Are you fatigued?" I said, "No, I just took have a break, I have coffee, I walk around, and I'm all fresh. I have 2 more hours to go in my shift." It was about 11:50 at that time, Arizona time, but here in New Jersey it would have been 3 a.m. So he says, "No, you were going fast." I said, "All right, keep it light, whatever you do. I appreciate it." He said, "That's the speed you were doing. That was way more than the speed limit, so I'm going to have to give you a criminal." I said, "Sir, criminal for a speeding ticket?" He said, "Yeah, I have to mark speed criminal on it." I said, can you keep it light?" He says, "No, that's what I have to do. I can actually give you or arrest warrant at this time, and start arrest you and lock you up." And I say, appreciate that, not in doing that. And So he handed me a ticket with 4 points and a criminal record, and so I called TVC. I had TVC, I have used them before, but so I called them and say, yeah, $400 to come on board and $400 to for this ticket, and we'll assign you a lawyer. And then if you have to go to trial, then you will do another 200 or 400, something like that. So all right, and so I came on board with TVC, and and had a membership for like $60 a month. And so I gave them $800 and a $65 a month. So the lawyer they picked up at Tyler Allen Law Firm, and the lawyer they gave me, his name is John Oyas, and he calls me up and he says, I did the best I could do. I did very hard work for you, and I did the negotiation. So the best I can do, I can take off the criminal, and I can give you 4 points. And I'm not going to touch it unless you can prove it otherwise. And so I'm saying, like, dude, he's saying that this was my truck, what he spotted with his machine, with his radar. And also the truck is moving up and down quite a bit, and it's very hard to spot someone so accurately. So, well, he's certified and all that. Anyway, so he basically appeared like he's citing the system, not me. He wasn't interested to get any of the points off. I said, can you negotiate 2 more points off? Make a general speeding ticket? That's fine. I mean, I can understand. I can live with that if it has to be. And but since it's a downhill and there are 2 other people and then the SUV and all that, why picked out of the group? And so Corey Ridge was the cop, young guy. I said, that's pretty bad, but if you can do 4 points and I know criminal. So what I did, I went to my lawyer friend here in New Jersey. I went to him and I asked him, what do you think? He said, oh, absolutely. No criminal, 4 points. Take it. His son is sitting there in the living room, and he's listening to everything. He's compromised. His son is compromised. So I go to my car, and I'm about to make a phone call. The lawyer calls me. He says, oh, you know what? The prosecutor has taken the offer back. I said, what? Yeah, it was Friday when you called me, and I was driving at that time. And today was Monday, and you were telling me that he has taken the offer back. He said, yeah. He says, the only thing we can do, the best I can do, I have worked very hard for you. So what I can do, we can negotiate 4 points with the criminal record. And I said, dude, that's not negotiating at all. That's like giving them away. He says, no, that's the best. I've worked very hard for you. And John Oyas is a lawyer, Tyler Allen Law Firm in Flagstaff area. So it's by TVC. TVC picked this guy up for me. So this is totally ridiculous, honestly. If a lawyer is charging you even $1, and he's citing the opposite party, that is a criminal move. Because you're taking me in confidence and you're working with the undercovers or something. So just before that, this ride, I was in California and some guy came up to me, Indian guy. He said, well, I have done murders in India, so I snuck out here, so now I got protection here. So, but what happened? Anyone can get 4 points down the hill and lose his license. I said, what? Why are you telling me? I'm pretty sober driver and I am pretty careful. Yeah, this whole event here. And I requested the cop is, can you, keep your, keep it light? He says, no, this is, I have to do this. I said, all right. So anyway, the lawyer says this is the best we can do. We can give you a criminal record and 4 points, and that's the ticket says. And he says, I have tried so hard, I have done this and that, and he gave me all kind of lines. So anyway, I said, all right, can we buy some more time? He says, yeah, we can adjourn the pre-conference. So we adjourned the pre-conference, and in the meantime, I'll think about it. 4 points criminal. That's crazy, and not even any fault. I don't think I'm 4 point criminal means you are like totally aggressive and crazy to curse someone out and a road rage basically and running someone and trying to run someone over. We are doing all three together. All happened is they hit the brake hard and then I was given a signal from the guy SUV running behind me. I have his number, California plate. So, but he kept on following me after I got the ticket too. It's weird. The SUV I'm talking about. Those truckers, I don't know where they went. I stopped and so he gave me all this runaround saying that I have worked very hard. About a year and a half later, we come to. He said we have to go to trial. That's the only thing we can do. I said, all right, then we have to go to trial. That's fine. And he says, or if you want a plea bargain, that way we can let it sit for a year and a half or so, and then we can request to remove and move it on a side, and I'll charge you $600 or $700, something like that, $400, something extra to write that letter. I say, all right, I'll think about it. And I consulted with a couple other guys. They said, yeah, if he's giving you a hard time and that's the only option you have is take the plea bargain, then you don't have to do the trial and waste your time. I said, all right, send me the letter and the paperwork for accepting the plea. So he sent me like 5, 6 pages with the criminal records, probation, and this and that. We can do this. We can. It seemed like it was a murder trial. And it appears like it was an FBI case or something. And I signed the paper and wrote at the sign. I said with attached comments. I'm signing it with attached comment. The comments mean that what was the scenario where I had been given this ticket. So it's not cut and dry. Like, if you were doing this every day and you you were aggressive and you were really, really arrogant and curse someone out and run someone over or something, and you get into 4 points criminal. And he says no. And then he got the paperwork. Then he writes me back. He says, no, you can't write any comments. You have to accept it the way it is. I wrote a letter to the judge directly. I said, hey, look, judge, if I accept it as it is, it gives me a pretty hard record and it totally destroys my personality and I won't be able to get a job. And then I consulted with my local counselor company. He says I gave him a few $100 there. He says what you can do, you can remove that lawyer and go talk to the prosecutor yourself and tell him, look, it's pretty it's aggressive to put 4 points on me like this. This will totally destroy my record and I won't be able to sustain a job. And he goes, this is what you guys say. I said, all right. So I go there. Well, I called them. I called the prosecutor that, can I talk to you? He says, what you want to talk about? I can set up a conference call with the judge in it, and then we can talk. I said, all right. So they set up a Zoom call. It was a phone call, and lady judge was there. And she says, the only thing we can do is we adjourn your trial. And we can give you more time and see if you can work out and not accept the plea. And, accept the plea or work it out and accept the plea. So we adjourned for a month. I had a bicycle tour I had to do in July, so I requested that, try not to set it up in July. Do in August, so they set it up for 10. So I went to the court a day before my trial to talk to the prosecutor. I said, and this is my story, Prosecutor says I have no time. I can't talk to you. We don't talk to the defendants like that. So my understanding is the lawyer is saying that he's citing the system, then the prosecutor is saying we don't talk to the defendant. So what kind of system we're dealing with? Who the prosecutor works for? Doesn't he work for the state? And he says he's supposed to listen to the defendant and the people who have been summoned. Anyway, I say, all right, so we do the conference call, Zoom call on the 10th August, and the judge Kean came up, and the lawyer, not the lawyer, but the prosecutor. He works under the prosecutor. What was his name? Mr. Racha. And I think I'm right. I think this was the name. I have to check. I'll correct it. He says, we don't give discount to the people like that. He said, I requested that we can keep it light and either do a general speeding ticket and not make it such a hard record, and that would destroy my record and my reputation and everything. And I won't be able to sustain a job. He says, that doesn't bother me. We have to do what we have to do. This is the best we can do. 4 points, criminal, and you sign it with. So the judge looked at the record. He says, well, 6 months ago, this was filed, and this motion was dismissed, and then this was filed, and then this case was dismissed, and we offered you to. The lawyer always told me that you have to accept the plea, and you have to accept the 4 points criminal. I was never given that option. Judge says, why the judge, the lawyer did not, the attorney did not give you this information. I said, then he says, well, that's a different topic, but you did not accept it. So it got expired, and so it got reinstated, and then we gave you a second chance. I said, I was never given that. He says, no, your lawyer should have given me that. So I have written down. I'll post that in there. So then I said, this is like crazy thing. I mean, I didn't laugh at that time. I said, this is like crazy. I never was informed by my lawyer why he didn't inform me. And he says, that's between you and your lawyer. And the judge says, and judge says to the prosecutor, but he says, I understand that he has a clean record, and he's not the habitual, making mistakes, and can we dismiss this as we previously? The prosecutors know we can't do anything. That's the best way I can do it. In my prosecutor office, this is the best I can do it.
Your Honor, I
criminal, you
did
take
not
it or not,
understand
go to trial.
when they offered me
And
the driving defensive
I said, the judge said,
offer.
you should
My
just get a
understanding
lawyer
was
and go to
that,
trial. Let them prove
they
you
offered
that
me
you were the one who
regular
saw
ticket,
on the radar
non-criminal,
among all those 3 or 4 vehicles.
which I requested that because I was driving, so I said, may I
if we can
return in a couple days. And by then, my attorney called me. He says, we have taken the offer back.
We closed the
So
conference call.
I never understood that I was offered.
Then I went back to TVC. I said, the lawyer you gave me, he seemed like he's working.
That would be a very nice offer. If that could be granted, I would really appreciate that.
The prosecutor, he doesn't want to hear me at all. He's not defending me, he's covering them. They say, oh, we can give you another lawyer, then you have to pay $400 for him, and we go from there. So, if you're gonna give me another rundown guy like him, and I might as well look for someone else. So I went to American Legal Trucker Association. They charged me about $800 to come on board for the ticket, $400 to join, or something like that. Maybe it was $600, and then I had to give them $200 later, and their fee was about $49 or $48, something like that amount. And so I gave them the money, and they assigned a lawyer, Steve, for me. And Nick called me. He says, I need to get your the court date. I told him it's open yet. I requested an adjournment, and they gave me an adjournment, and they didn't give me a date yet. Oh no, there was a date, but it was It was 18th or something like that, 18th August. And I said, you can get an adjournment, the lawyer. And so he did get an adjournment, and I think Nick got the adjournment, or I got somehow. There was enough time, so I sent them the money and the letter and the case to Steve. And before 18th, I received a letter saying that the court was dismissed. Yeah, well, no, the case was dismissed. And I called the American Truck Association. I said, I told Nick, can you disregard that request going to Steve for, for $350 extra for fighting the case because they have dismissed it. And he says between you and the lawyer. And so I called him. I wrote him an email. He didn't respond. So I mean that's another 350 went. And anyway, that was. And so it seemed like this whole shebang is like a crazy. One thing after the other. Like a young guy who's like local police sitting at the highway, interstate, giving ticket to commercial vehicle. And at nighttime, when there's no traffic, and we owned pretty much at nighttime, commercial vehicles own the road because we all run at night and we don't interfere with locals at that time. And also he's a local police officer. Judge Keane said that Corey Ridge has a record of doing wrong summons. And why you have not considered that? He asked the prosecutor. And prosecutor was young guy, judge was like, must have been in his 60s. And he said, well, he has given him a summons and we have to deal with it as it is. And so anyway, this whole thing is like total, well, the letter I wrote to John Hoyas, the paperwork he gave me was like a criminal murder trial. The way he wrote it, that there'd be a probation, this would be that, and I sign it, I give up my rights, and this and that, and I said, whoa, what is it? This is like a traffic ticket. And but anyway, that was the story, and this is what we go through. Make a comment and have a reference number so I can say, yeah, or others can look into it and say, yeah, abuse was done. There is a case filed in Arizona by, I think, attorney that there was abuse previously, and I don't know which lawyer was handling it. I think there was. I had the lawyer's name, but I went through the union, so there's a little more, say to it, a little more pressure on the lawyer not to just throw someone under the bus. And then, but they all guarantee that we don't let the drivers lose their license, or we don't let the drivers have the record. And but this was totally different. It seemed like this lawyer was working with some kind of undercover or some other groups to cite them, not me. Thank you for listening, and God bless you all.